Well, hi guys, and welcome back to Trev's Travels by Narrowboat. Yes, a cruising video. Well, it's sort of a cruising video. I've just actually had my toilets pumped out, so it was a very essential journey. I have two of them, and they were both full. I've just had to come up the canal for about another half a mile, where I'm going to wind here. This is the entrance to Brinklow Marina, which is actually part of the route of the old North Oxford Canal before it was straightened. The red arrow is where we are right now, winding, and you can see Brinklow Marina there, slightly to the left of it, and the green line is the route of the original canal. So as we turn round here now, I can see there's quite a breeze coming through the bridge hole here, so it's going to push me across a bit, I think, towards the right hand side, and it's quite a tight turn anyway, but I think we'll make it round. I also see, you can see there's some ice on the water. Yes, you can see the line there on the water where the ice starts. That could make things tricky, although it's very thin. Yes, we're coming around, although the wind did catch the bow of the boat. There's that dreaded ice. Although this ice is only 1 or 2 millimeters thick, it's still going to create problems when trying to turn on it. Boats just don't like turning across ice. It shouldn't do any damage to the boat though, it's not thick enough. It's breaking up as we go through it. You can see here the big sheet of thin ice that's pushing back up the canal here. See by the ripple along the edge of the canal, by the towpath. Well, that's me winded now, heading back in the opposite direction. I hope my mooring space I had in Rugby is still there, so I'm going to try and get back to exactly where I started from. I'm travelling in this direction, the towpath on the right hand side of the boat as I look down the boat. I have to be a bit careful going under some of these bridges with my chimney up. Get as close to the towpath as possible to give it as much clearance as possible on the left hand side. Of course, this rail bridge, I don't have to worry about the clearance at all. Plenty of room. This small tree or bush or branch has been down in the canal now since I first come up here in the spring. It hasn't been removed yet. It's quite tight going by here. You have to be quite careful. Scratch your boat if you're not careful. You can't get any you can't get over any more the other side because we're rocks. But negotiated again quite nicely. The towpath along here is extremely muddy. I don't think I want to walk along there or more there. These linear moorings along here appear to have very large pieces of land attached to them. This guy here seems to have it right. Not only is he off-grid, he has off-boat solar panels here. That must give him plenty of power. When I recorded this, I thought that tree line or hedge line in the distance there was the route of the original canal. Well, I got it completely wrong because it winded around on the opposite side of the canal. There's some nice countryside to look at, if nothing else. We're just approaching here Lime Farm Marina. I don't recommend you try winding here, although there's no signs up saying no winding. The last time I tried here, they came running out, shouting and yelling at me that you're not allowed to wind here. I just said to them, oh, I thought I was going to come in and try and get a pump out. They said, we don't do pump outs, and weren't very friendly towards me. So I stay well clear. Just coming down now towards where I actually got my toilet pumped out, just after this bridge here. We'll be coming into sight. And here we are now, approaching Armada Marina. Rue, the owner, and his girlfriend Jane, very, very friendly people, very helpful, very knowledgeable. They do have a very small hire fleet as well. One of the boats is called Jack, and another one is called Hector. They do have another one or two as well, but I can't remember their names. It's rather a nice property to live in, isn't it? Right by the canal here. A huge overlooking window. He does all sorts here. He has a crane that he actually made himself, I believe, for lifting boats out. This is Falls Bridge. That's the name of the next bridge, believe it or not. Yes, Armada Marina. If you need anything done, he's the one to see. Really nice, friendly guy. I recommend him all day long. There's a couple more of his hire fleet. As I say, very small hire fleet. You go online and look up Armada Marina. You can look at his boats and do a virtual tour of them. This is Newbold Tunnel just coming up in the distance. But before we negotiate Newbold Tunnel, we've got to negotiate this huge branch which has fallen down off an ash tree around here. I can't help but touch it. Engine out of gear as we cruise over the top of it. That could cause all sorts of problems if you hit your prop on that. Anyway, onwards we go through Newbold Tunnel. Newbold Tunnel wasn't originally part of the canal layout here. It was added when the canal was straightened. There is an older tunnel which you can go and see at Newbold. You walk down past the Barley Mow pub and up by the church. It's the entrance to the old James Brindley Tunnel. I actually did a video on that back in the spring. See that electrical box there on the side? Well, a while ago they did put lighting through Newbold Tunnel, and you can still see the lights on the side. If you Google it or look on some other YouTubes from way back, you'll see this tunnel illuminated. They turned the lights off a while ago because they found that there were bats in the tunnel. If they found that there was bats in the tunnel while the lights were still on, I can't see how the lights were affecting them. Anyways, the lights have been turned off because of the bats these days. I love nature, so if it was affecting them, I guess that's all well and good. Newbold Tunnel is quite a short tunnel. It's only something like 250 yards long. You'll see on the roof here some stalactites hanging down. This tunnel doesn't take us long to go through, and it is a two-way tunnel with a towpath originally both sides. These days only the right hand towpath as we're facing it is usable. The left hand side one now is blocked off with no access to it. As we now approach the end of the tunnel, only 3 or 4 minutes have passed. As I say, it's a very short tunnel. You can see there on the left hand side some of the lights which are no longer in use and where it's closed off. Well, that's Newbold Tunnel done. You'll see straight through. As we're just passing this boat here on the right hand side, Illusions. This is Mick on Illusions with his wife, and they were moored right next to me during the first lockdown back in the spring. Very nice couple they are too. And here we have the rather famous boaters pub, the Barley Mow, of course closed at the moment. This is a really rare sight to see no boats moored along this stretch. It's very, very popular in the summer, and even this time of the year you expect to see 1 or 2 boats. The sun's trying to come out through the clouds. As we pass here now, this is what is now known as the Rugby Arm. The little short bit in blue is what exists today. The rest in green was the original route of the canal. When the canal was straightened through this section, there was 2 aqueducts put in. This one here is the old Leicester Road, and the next one we come to is it going across the River Swift. It was quite a feat of engineering back in the time when this was straightened through here. It's one very high embankment, as you can see through the trees here above the warehouses. This was back in the 1820s this was done, and they were just coming up to going across the River Swift. Surprisingly, I'm not the only boat on the move today. Here comes another boat towards me. I do hope my mooring spot's still available back just around the corner. Otherwise I'll have to go down onto the muddy bit. Well, I'm now on the final stretch back to where I started this morning. It was lovely to have the boat out for a while. It's the first time I've moved the boat in ages, except for getting water, which is just across from where I'm moored. Well, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little short cruising video, quote unquote. Me getting my toilets pumped out. It was a lovely little cruise back. It just leaves me to say, thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.